Hey, what's up guys? This is Robert with Dungeon Lair here. Thought that I'd share with you a little tip about how to restore some of your old paints. I have some old Vallejo paints that I had in storage for a little bit, and one of the worst things for your paints is heat. And so a few of them dried up a little bit, and the tips were all gunky, and so I thought I'd share with you what I do and what I have done to restore my old paints, and it's worked out pretty well. So I'll go through the list of materials that I use, and hope it works out for you. So let's get to it. Hey guys, here's a list of supplies that you'll need, or this is supplies that I use. You'll need a container with water, toothpicks, and then if the paint's real bad, what I do is I put in a stainless steel BB. These ones here are 1/8 inch. You can get slightly larger ones, but I find these ones work well for the small 15 milliliter, 17 milliliter paint droppers that I use. Stainless steel sculpting tools and Q-tips, and then have a eyedropper or something similar that you can put water in to clean off the tip of the paint dropper. And then you'll just need some old paint, and this is what I do. I'm just going to take off and then you'll need paper towels. So this is what I do, is I just take off the tip. Most of the dirty paint, clogged up paint, will be inside the tip, so I just drop it in my container of water, clean it up real good. This is where the toothpicks come in handy. Use a toothpick to clean it out real well, especially in the tip there, where again most of the paint will be clogged up, especially if your paint's been sitting around as long as mine have. This one isn't too bad, but this is going to take you several steps of just cleaning it out, dipping it back in your container of water, and then really working the toothpick in there to get all that dried up paint out of there. And then also this is where I use a Q-tip, get it wet a little bit, and then really work it in there to get that paint out. And also what I found that works really well is get your Q-tip and pinch it a little bit so that you have a nice sharp point on it, and this helps get it up inside the eyedropper here to get all that dried up paint out of there. So continue working these steps until your eyedropper is clean and free of clogged up paint. Okay, so here's the tip of my paint dropper, real good and clean. All the gunky paint has been removed, and now let's go on to the actual dropper or paint container itself. So you'll notice on top here that a lot of the dried up paint will be captured right up on top here. So what I'll do is I'll grab a nice good clean Q-tip and just remove all of that dried up paint and just toss it. And then if the paint's really bad inside, first I'm going to test it just to see. This one's not too bad, so I'm just going to work it with a Q-tip, and that's all I'll really need to do. And then again, as I mentioned, one of the worst things for paints is heat. And then oftentimes when you pop out the the tip, and you'll go in there and you'll test it with your toothpick. It'll be really tough and dried out. This is where I grab my eyedropper and then just put in a few dabs of water, because you're trying to bring back that old life to that paint, and heat will just destroy your paints. It'll just suck out all the moisture out of your paint. And then if it's really bad, I'll grab one of my sculpting tools here, make sure it's good and clean. Grab a paper towel here real quick. And I'll just take one of my sculpting tools and I'll just go in there and I'll just work that paint really good. Like that. And once I'm satisfied that I've done my best at working that paint in there, then I'll just put the tip back in there. And if the paint's really, really bad, this is where I'll drop in one of my stainless steel BBs. But in this case, this one's not too bad, so I lucked out. So I'll put the tip back on, and then just make sure inside here is good and clean. Just had some old paint in there, so just clean it up real good. This is where you can use another Q-tip. Get in there and work out all that old paint. You may need to grab a toothpick as well. Some of that stuff is really caked in on there. So once that's good and clean, then you just put the cap back on and give it a good shake. And this is going to take some time. This one's not, again, this one's not too bad, but if it's really bad, you drop a BB in there, and this is going to take several days to really get that paint and bring it back to life. And then just every day you just kind of have to shake up that BB in there. And what that BB's doing is it's agitating that old paint to really get it smoothed out and workable again. Because you'll notice that even on your really bad paints, you'll still have little chunks of paint that come out in your palette, and you just can't paint with that. So it's going to take several days and even maybe a couple weeks to really get that paint workable again. And in some cases it just may not work at all. We may just have to toss it and buy some new paint. But in most cases this process has worked for me and helped me save a lot of my paints, my old paints. So I hope this works for you. If you like the tips, please subscribe. And if you have any questions, please feel free to ask any questions you may have. I'll be happy to help you in any way that I can. Take care until next time, next video. See ya. Bye.